In this video, we'll be taking a look at two NBA games happening on October 23, 2024, and providing you with free team picks and total picks for each one of those games, so 4 picks in total. Welcome back to Cash Out Sports. Let's dive right into it. Oh, and don't forget to subscribe and to click the bell icon to get notified as soon as these videos get released, so that you have more time to plan out your bets as we provide these videos on a daily basis. I can guarantee that you'll have all the important information that you'll need on these two NBA games after fully watching this video. One thing before we start, if you would like to gain access to our best exclusive sports picks to take your journey to the next level, then check out our Patreon in the link down below where we offer our best single picks, parlay picks, and much more. Now let's get started. Charlotte Hornets versus Houston Rockets. The 2024-2025 NBA season is finally here, and basketball fans everywhere couldn't be more thrilled to see the action back on the court. As part of our season preview, we'll be taking a close look at an intriguing matchup between two young and developing teams, the Charlotte Hornets and the Houston Rockets. Both franchises are entering this season eager to make strides after missing out on the playoffs last year, hoping to translate potential into results this time around. The Houston Rockets may have to navigate some early challenges, as key big man Steven Adams is listed as questionable for the season opener. Despite this uncertainty, the Rockets are still the deserved favorites heading into this matchup, even though it's only the first game of the season. Houston built an impressive home court reputation last season, posting a strong 27-14 record in their own arena, and they'll be aiming to keep that momentum alive in Wednesday's contest. With much of their core roster from last year intact, the Rockets have the advantage of continuity, meaning they won't need much time to get into rhythm. The team's young talent, many of whom are expected to take noticeable steps forward in their development, will look to make an early statement against a Hornets team that remains a work in progress. While Charlotte welcomes back LaMelo Ball, his return is somewhat of an unknown factor. Having only played 58 games across the last 2 seasons due to injuries, Ball may take time to get reacquainted with the flow of live competition and mesh with his teammates effectively. Offensively, Houston comes into this season with high expectations. They finished last year with the league's 13th best defense and bolstered their scoring potential over the summer by adding new talent, including the promising rookie Shepherd, who is expected to contribute right away. The Rockets also excelled in generating second-chance opportunities, ranking among the better teams in offensive rebounds and points in the paint. Expect them to apply similar pressure on the boards and punish Charlotte with extra possessions. Additionally, Houston's aggressive defense, which ranked 7th in steals last season, will likely create easy fast break opportunities by capitalizing on the Hornets' carelessness with the ball. Charlotte ranked 18th in turnovers a year ago. Defensively, the Hornets remain a significant concern. They were one of the league's weakest defensive teams last season, and their limited offseason activity suggests they may struggle to show meaningful improvement on that end. As a result, Houston will have a prime opportunity to exploit their defensive deficiencies and rack up points throughout the game. Although the Hornets are entering this season in better health compared to last year, their lack of significant roster upgrades makes it difficult to predict a leap forward. They remain a middling team that doesn't inspire much confidence, especially on the road against a motivated Rockets squad. On the other hand, Houston's young core is beginning to gel, and they appear to be on the right track toward becoming a serious playoff contender. To meet those goals, the Rockets must win games like these, especially on their home floor. While the betting line may be a bit ambitious, the combination of Houston's offensive firepower and Charlotte's questionable defense makes it reasonable to expect the Rockets to take care of business in this one comfortably. So the Houston Rockets to win and cover the spread as favorites is our full game side pick. When it comes to the total points, recent trends also point toward a high-scoring affair. The Hornets have hit the over in their last 3 games, while the Rockets have done the same in 3 of their last 4 outings. Charlotte managed just 107 points per game last season, but they are expected to push the tempo more this year in an effort to generate better offensive production. Meanwhile, Houston, who allowed the 14th most points per game last season, was particularly vulnerable on defense at home, giving up more than 110 points per contest in their own building. In 2 meetings with the Hornets last season, the Rockets surrendered an average of 111.5 points per game, so a similar defensive performance could be in store for this matchup. Offensively, Houston put up an average of 114 points per game last year while operating at the 8th fastest pace in the league. Their ability to play at a high tempo and take advantage of weak defenses makes them a dangerous opponent for Charlotte. The Hornets, who gave up an alarming 117 points per game on the road last season, were even worse defensively against the Rockets, allowing an average of 133 points in their two head-to-head matchups. Given these factors, it's reasonable to expect another high-scoring battle, with both teams likely pushing the final score beyond the projected total. The recent history between these teams further supports this outlook, as 3 of their last 4 meetings have also gone over the total, with both teams likely to engage in an up-tempo game. Over the projected total is our full game total pick. Memphis Grizzlies versus Utah Jazz. The Utah Jazz will host the Memphis Grizzlies on Wednesday, October 23rd, in the highly anticipated opening game of the new NBA season. Last year, the Jazz started the season strong but suffered a steep decline, losing 25 of their final 30 games, which caused them to miss the playoffs comfortably. The Grizzlies, on the other hand, endured a difficult campaign plagued by injuries, resulting in a forgettable season where they struggled to stay competitive. Both teams are aiming to turn things around, and the journey toward redemption begins with this season opener on Wednesday night. Memphis will be without several important players, including forward Jaren Jackson Jr., rookie G.G. Jackson, and sharpshooter Luke Kennard. Meanwhile, the Jazz will miss role player Johnny Juzang for this game, though his absence won't affect their rotation significantly. Utah has consistently performed better on its home floor, particularly on offense, where they averaged 119.5 points per game last season. With Jaren Jackson Jr. out, the Jazz will have more room to operate inside the paint and around the perimeter. Utah has already proven they can exploit Memphis, having dropped at least 125 points on them in 2 different games last season. If the Jazz can replicate that level of scoring, they'll put Memphis in a tough position. That isn't the kind of game the Grizzlies want to play. Memphis has ranked in the league's bottom third for 3-point shooting percentage over the past 2 seasons, a significant weakness in today's NBA. Teams that beat Utah typically rely on solid perimeter shooting, something the Grizzlies have struggled to do consistently. While Memphis may look better on paper in terms of talent, they have key contributors on the injury list heading into this matchup. On the other hand, Utah comes into this game relatively healthy and should not be underestimated, as they possess enough talent to be a surprise team this season. The Jazz are the type of underdogs that could quietly cash tickets for bettors, and I'm curious to see how they perform early in the season. A strong start could spark a sneaky playoff run. While the teams are still feeling each other out, the Grizzlies will need to find consistency from beyond the arc if they hope to steal a win. Until Memphis heats up from deep, they won't have the firepower to outlast the Jazz in Salt Lake City, so the Utah Jazz to cover the spread as underdogs is our full game side pick. The Jazz averaged just under 120 points per game at home last season, driven by their potent offense. However, they were one of the worst defensive teams in the league, ranking last in defensive rating and 29th in points allowed. When playing on their home court, Utah tends to dictate the pace and style of the game, often turning contests into high-scoring affairs. While Morant's return to Memphis will certainly boost the Grizzlies' offense, Utah will have an advantage with Jaren Jackson Jr. sidelined, as their strong offensive rebounding matches well against Memphis below average defensive rebounding. Despite their offensive prowess, the Jazz's defense is still a major concern heading into this season, as they return most of the same players from last year. There's little indication that their defense will improve significantly, meaning opponents will continue to find success both from beyond the arc and in the paint. With Jaren Jackson Jr. unavailable, the Grizzlies lose their top defender, which should open the door for the Jazz to score freely. This matchup has all the ingredients for a high-scoring game, especially given Utah's defensive struggles and Memphis' inability to lock down shooters without Jackson. Expect both teams to pile on the points in what could be a shootout to open the season. For this reason, over the projected total is our full game total pick. That's all for now, so if you have any other games you would like reviewed, then leave a comment down below with the game you would like analyzed. Subscribe to our channel, leave a like on this video, and we'll get to it as soon as we possibly can. We would also love to hear your opinion on the picks presented to you in this video, whether you agree or disagree with them, so leave a comment down below and do let us know.